Our region's economy was built by entrepreneurs who in many ways made America and made some great fortunes along the way. Well, over time, as those institutions grew, Pittsburgh became more and more of a company town and lost a bit of its entrepreneurial spirit. Well, we've done a lot better in recent years, but you can't have too many young people ready to take risks on great ideas. Leadership Pittsburgh Inc. took it to heart, and this year's LP class helped to create a student startup, an effort to launch a sustainable student-run business in Pittsburgh. Derica Sanchez is a 10th grade student at Urban Pathways Charter School. Ed Lettieri is Vice President of American Century Investment, a member of this year's LP class. And Aradhna Oliphant is President and CEO of Leadership Pittsburgh Inc. And welcome. Good to see all three of you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So, Aradhna, I'll let you set the context first. Leadership Pittsburgh annual program, leaders from across the community. This year, what? You organized them into different teams to tackle projects across the community?
Yes. In addition to the monthly sessions based on issues, which is what the focus of the program is, connection with public policy for these 60 diverse leaders, we break them up into 8 groups, what we call learning groups. And we attached this year's class, each learning group, with a different host entity, and each learning group then worked with that host entity to develop a project and help the host entity or its constituents, mostly children, implement a project that would be of meaning and substance for the students.
So everybody was doing a project that touched kids in some way, but not all the projects are the same.
Not at all. Not at all. Each project, there's this project, I'll let you hear more about this, and then there are 7 other great projects. I mean, the classes has a great time, but I will let them talk.
That's really cool. So Ed, all right, so your group got matched up to Urban Pathways Charter High School.
Yes.
What happened then?
Well, it was fantastic. They have a great program there. They've been running an entrepreneurship class for several years.
Wow.
And the kids are very motivated and very professional. And our group, there are 7 or 8 of us from a variety of different industries, whether it's pharmaceutical, or we have an architect, we have a head of IT, we have a research scientist, and financials.
Oh, that's eclectic.
Yeah, it is. And we were asked to serve as an advisory board for the students.
Okay, and so you were already involved in the entrepreneurship activity there at the school, right? Mm-hmm. So what, were you all brainstorming ideas for some sort of a business you might be able to put together?
We brainstormed about 3 or 4 different ideas that we wanted to do as a class.
Okay, cool. And then what, you had to pitch them to the team from Leadership Pittsburgh?
Yeah, and we narrowed it down to which one would be best.
Okay, what'd you finally come up with?
With the school spirit clothing.
School spirit clothing. So that would be what? Putting the identity of the school on shirts and hats and stuff like that?
Shirts, hoodies, sweatpants, and shorts.
Oh, neat. Well, how did the pitch go down? They had 3 ideas. How did you all help them land on this one?
Well, we walked them through what would be the most practical, what would help them reach their goals, what would be most sustainable. So this is something that future classes could kind of come through and work their way up through the ranks, and something they could do all year, all throughout the school year, and be able to turn a profit, see what it's like to run a business.
That's great. How helpful were the folks from Leadership Pittsburgh?
They were very helpful. Yeah. They showed ideas that we never even thought of, and they helped us with things that we never even thought of either.
Now, this is pretty ambitious. You all are trying to raise what, capital to buy your own printing press and stuff to do this?
Yeah.
How's that been going?
It's been a little tough, but all our minds together is pretty good.
And was that part really helping them to understand all the different aspects of what it really takes to get a business off the ground?
It really was, and it was a lot of fun. And in my career, I've been involved in some things like this before, but I had to miss a class, and I was disappointed because I knew I was going to be missing out on some great stuff. So it was a good experience, I think, for all of us involved.
So how are you making it? Are you in production yet? Have you made any of this stuff?
Yeah, we have made some t-shirts for them. I think this is our 2nd time, and everything will be set up hopefully by the summer.
Okay, so this is going to go on beyond the academic year, and
yeah, we hope that the 9th graders will take over after we graduate, and it'll just keep increasing from there.
Oh, that is really cool. So, what do you think you want to be an entrepreneur when you eventually get out of school?
I don't know about being an entrepreneur myself.
It's tough. It's not. It's not easy stuff. Yeah, you gotta be willing to take risks to be a successful entrepreneur. Yeah. That's really cool. So you mentioned there's, what, 7 other projects like this impacting different organizations in the community?
Yes, and different sets. They were sort of like threads. So there was an entrepreneurism thread, there was an early childhood thread, there was a workforce thread. So for example, actually, Derica's school is also led by a Leadership Pittsburgh graduate. Linda Cloudy is the head of their school, and she herself is a Leadership Pittsburgh graduate. Another Leadership Pittsburgh graduate is Dave Copeland out in the Mon Valley with Human Services Center course. So a team like theirs worked with Dave's organization to develop some good pipeline of volunteers for workforce mentors for the kids who are getting some services or enrolling in some after-school programs, and I can go on like that. Really
important here in the region. And what do you think you got out of this type of an experience?
Well, it was great to, I think the whole Leadership Pittsburgh experience has been fantastic. It's better than advertised, and the opportunity to work with the kids at Urban Pathways gave us a chance to see the other side of it, and to learn more about ourselves, is just to see the great new folks coming up that are going to lead this region into the future.
Very cool. Unfortunately, I think registration for next year's Leadership Pittsburgh class is already behind us, right, Aradhna?
Yes.
Correct.
But still, the Leadership Development Program is still open, available if people are interested in getting engaged?
Every year, Leadership Pittsburgh deadline is the first Friday in May. So that's the past one. But there's one more year to prepare for those who are watching the show. And then for Leadership Development Initiative, which is our program for emerging leaders who are the young rising stars in various businesses and organizations, that deadline is first Friday in June. That program has a skills-based focus with neighborhood development as its sort of like project.
Great programs, and congratulations, really. What a cool thing to get to do. Leadership Pittsburgh, thank you both. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in a minute with little dollars and cents. Stay with us.